While Bitcoin is currently breaking below very critical support, I want to be showing you a new chart which is currently showing us Bitcoin is still trading on a big level of support, and also I want to be talking about all the major banks in the US are currently buying Bitcoin, and no, these aren't small banks. So I'm going to be discussing this. The largest Bitcoin bear market is currently behind us, but how is the bull market looking for now? The spot Bitcoin ETF, the most important charts on Bitcoin, which are telling us something about what currently is happening in the market, the US election 2024 forecast, and many more important charts and patterns we need to discuss on today's update video. So without any further ado, this video is going to definitely be a little bit shorter because there are not a lot of stuff happening, but don't forget to slap that like button back above 1,000 likes, and let me jump straight away in towards the content. So looking at Bitcoin right now, we're starting to see that we're actually breaking below this very important support line, which we created here towards the upside. And we actually got rejected once again from this very important horizontal resistance box, sitting around 61 to 63,000 US dollars. And of course, on yesterday's video, on the videos before, I have always mentioned the importance of this level and the likelihood that we could actually still see a rejection from of this exact range right there. Then you can clearly see currently, if we're just looking at this approach of this consolidation phase for Bitcoin, we're clearly getting rejected by the top side, and we're clearly getting supported by the lower side. Here we got rejected, then it flipped into support, and currently we're once again touching this level again here. So if Bitcoin really breaks below this level right here, I do believe that ultimately we could still move lower. And like I have said for many times before already, if Bitcoin is going to be moving lower and potentially fill up that wick on the daily time frame, guys, I'm going to be a massive buyer in the market, because if Bitcoin does create another move towards the downside right here, I am going to be the one that is going to be opening up large long positions on Bitcoin. And since currently the funding rates on Bitcoin, but also on many other altcoins, remain to be extremely negative, it really is looking for me that this is most likely a little bit of a trap which we are creating, because always once these funding rates are extremely negative, it basically means that the Bitcoin price is getting compressed, and usually we tend to see a big breakout towards the upside whenever Bitcoin is heavily getting shorted. So I don't really believe there's a big reason to be panicking on Bitcoin right now here. And this is actually still a good range of accumulation. And why I'm saying so is because for Q2, the banks in America and companies in America, they had to disclose their holdings. And actually, what we found out is that not only Morgan Stanley, a 1.3 million US dollar asset manager from of the US, is holding more than 187 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin. It is also Goldman Sachs, which is worth an approximately 2.8 trillion US dollars. They are also holding over 418 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin, and also Wells Fargo has announced they also are holding Bitcoin. So major banks in the US are all buying Bitcoin. And maybe the most funniest thing I've seen in the last while is that actually, while we are indeed seeing a lot of panic from retail interest in crypto is still at extreme lows here. Indeed, we have seen an ever so slight uptick, but if we're looking also at the interest on altcoins, you can see that there is literally no spike happening at all. There is no interest in the market, and that is why I do believe that ultimately Bitcoin is gonna be going higher in valuation, especially since these large banks are buying while retail is not paying attention. And guys, we have literally survived the longest bear market out of history of Bitcoin. And besides that, if we're just looking about where we're currently sitting in the cycle, everything has played out perfectly so far, and we're literally at the beginning stage of a next big, massive bull cycle. So I don't believe there's a big reason to be panicking, and I think it's quite funny to see that these large institutions are buying, retail interest is at lows, guys. This is the perfect thing which is playing out here, and also in a couple weeks from now on, the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates, inject global liquidity. Guys, this is perfect for Bitcoin. But while all this has happened, we yesterday indeed saw some slight outflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF, but of course this is on the short term, so there's no big reason to be worrying about this here. And just like I said many times before, guys, I'm looking to open up a big trade here on Bitcoin, and if I'm going to be doing so, I'm going to be showing you step by step where I'm going to be opening my trade here. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now if you want to be staying up to date about that. But if you really want to be claiming a free 500 US dollar deposit bonus on top of the $30,000 deposit bonus you can already claim on Bybit, don't forget to go to the highest link description of today's video, press on it, and you will come to this page where you can claim that free $500 airdrop position for literally only signing up an account. So if you're interested in trading, sign up an account using the link below, complete KYC, and you can already claim that free $500 airdrop position. So super simple to do and super valuable as well. And then at the same time, we can currently see that Bitcoin is clearly getting rejected from of this exact region right here. And I talked about this exact region for the last period as well in the market quite a lot here. And I can see clearly previous rant, big support, resistance. Again, I mean, I don't have to repeat this, but clearly what we can see is that Bitcoin is getting rejected by this level. We're still creating a higher low as so far. But if we, of course, are going to create a lower low, we're going to be quite screwed here. But since we are already creating quite a lot of lower lows, this lower low right here could be quite catastrophic, because that would be basically formatting a significant drop-off on the Bitcoin strength here on the daily time frame. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here. But if Bitcoin does come down here and come anywhere near towards this gap right here, I'm going to be a buyer, especially from over that $50,000 region. I'm going to be definitely a buyer in this region right here. So ultimately, I think Bitcoin is still looking good here if we're seeing what currently is playing out on the bigger perspective. But of course, I'm very much aware that on the short term, we could still come down a little bit here, but still be in this consolidation phase where we can ultimately break upwards, because I believe that Bitcoin is still in the consolidation phase. And I believe that the big breakout is going to be happening somewhere in November, where we're going to be having the US elections. And currently, Kamala is leading by a 9% here, which is actually quite surprising in my opinion, because if we have to trust the polls from other sides, it is that Trump is leading. But this is very interesting data, because for the Bitcoin price action, the US election has always had a big effect here. So let's see how it is going to be playing out here. It's going to be important to be following. And if he's really going to get elected, we are most likely, guys, going to be seeing a massive pump in the market, just like we saw last time around as well here. So interesting to see how it's going to be playing out. Are we going to get a crypto favorite president? We're going to be finding out in 82 days from now on. This data is going to be definitely determining if we are going to be getting World War III. And that would be, of course, extremely bad for the economy, because I believe that if Harris is going to get elected, we're probably going to get more wars, and that would be quite bad for the stock market. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here, but we just have to wait and see how it goes here. So Bitcoin is still consolidating, nothing bad, nothing strange in what we are seeing right now. And yeah, we're still creating this massive bull flag pattern, which I'm going to be putting my close attention towards, as I have done for the last period in the market as well. And we're creating the biggest Bitcoin inverse head and shoulders pattern, which I've ever seen on Bitcoin getting created, and what is also the biggest pattern Bitcoin has ever created in history as well. So yeah, we're just waiting to see whenever we're going to be breaking the neckline. But whenever we do break the neckline, that is the point where we're going to be seeing absolute fireworks. So things are looking great on Bitcoin. But of course, like I said earlier, this video is definitely a little bit shorter. But this was all the things I had to discuss for this video right now. So please, while most retails are not still here yet, and while big banks in the US are buying Bitcoin, it is time to follow the smart money right now here. So this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to slap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.